Hello and welcome to step number 2 of the individual tree braid extension hairstyle. In this step, I will be teaching you step by step how to do the individual tree braid technique. So first, in order to begin, I will demonstrate by showing you how to actually part out your sections of hair, how to actually incorporate your braiding hair onto your real hair, and then how to do the tree braiding technique step by step. Okay, so now I will be showing you how to do the individual tree braiding technique step by step. So first, before you actually begin braiding, you have to make sure to prepare your section of hair you will actually be working on. So use your rat tail comb for parting and your wide tooth comb to help detangle your hair. I've already done so. I have 2 braids to do, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do the technique on one of my braids. So here's my section of hair that I will be working on right here. It's already been detangled and parted, and this is another section I have to do as well. So I'm going to show you on this section here. Once you have your section ready, now you're going to prepare your hands with your braiding hair. So depending on if you're using curly or wavy hair, usually most times they're already predetermined in sections, as you can see here. So that way you don't have to further divide the hair in order to actually braid with it. So what I'm going to do is grab 2 pieces, and I'm going to show you how to actually position the hair in your hands. If you want more detailed information all about doing individual braids, you have to refer to my braiding DVD. So when preparing, you want to either take the smaller piece and wrap it around for your 1/3 and 2/3 section, or if they're both the same size, just go ahead and wrap one around the other, and then position the braiding hair in your hands just like you are doing an actual individual braid or box braid extension. So now I'm going to show you how to actually braid your individual tree braid. So first, just begin by braiding an actual individual braid. You want to braid down about 6 to 8 times before you actually start pulling out pieces of your extension hair. Now, if you want the tree braiding technique to be of a more extreme effect, you would only braid a couple of times from the scalp before you actually begin releasing hair. But to make sure that you have your braids solidly on your hair, you can braid about a couple of inches of braid before you actually begin releasing. Now I'm going to show you how to actually do the tree braiding technique. So I'm just pushing the hair over in front of me so that I can show you how to take out individual pieces of braiding hair. Keep all 3 legs of your braid separate, but you're going to grab one leg of your braid and you're going to pinch off a small piece of the hair. Make sure you detangle it all the way through. And after you separate a piece from the leg, you're going to push it over your head just so it doesn't get back into your braid. Now what you can do is use a duck bill clip to stop the hair from falling back down by clipping right here, or you can just push it over your head if you're more comfortable with that. And then continue braiding. You're going to braid a couple of times, and then you're going to release one of the legs again, or part of the leg. So after you braid a couple times, release some of the hair on the opposite side of your braid. This is a similar technique to doing an actual cornrow tree braid. That's why you have to know how to do the tree braiding style for cornrow so you can understand more in detail how to do this process. So now you just pinch off a small piece and you put that over your head just to move it out of the way. So as you can see, there's a leg here, and then there's a leg here that I also just took out. If it helps, use a duck bill clip, of course, to keep the hairs from falling down. But until then, just continue to braid and alternately take out a piece on each side of your braid until you've braided past your real hair. So now just keep doing this process, and then once you braid past your hair, I'm going to show you how to seal the end of your braid with your super nail glue. So now we're so close to the end of my real hair that I'm just going to braid all the way past it. Now once you braid about half an inch to an inch past your real hair, then it's safe to actually glue the braid. Some individuals like to do the slip knot technique where you actually use a small piece of hair to form a knot around the bottom of your braid, but to make sure that this braid does not unravel, it's a great idea to use super nail glue to actually seal the braid. So the reason why I did not continue to release all the way down is for a couple of reasons. One is because the braid gradually gets thinner, so if you constantly release hair, it will be very hard for you to effectively braid past your real hair without leaving your real hair out on accident. This braid is vastly thinner than the braid at the root as it began because of all the hair I've left out along the way. So now I'm going to show you how to actually seal the end, and it's very simple. I'm going to use my glue, and what you want to do is put just one drop or a couple of drops on there just so it doesn't unravel. You don't want to soak the end of your braid with glue, you just want a small drop so that way it doesn't unravel. So just tap it a little bit, squeeze just a little bit, and put one drop right there on your braid, and I like to rub it in a little bit with the neck of the super glue. Then I like to blow, fan it just a little bit so that it can dry, and then you can release your hair down and your tree braid is finished. As you can see, when all of the braids are put together, you won't see the actual small piece of braid when all of it's added because you constantly put out pieces along the way, and then when you push it over to blend with the rest of your hair, it will look very seamless. So as you can see, the individual tree braiding technique is a very simple process, just as long as you know how to do cornrow tree braids as well as individual braids also. So just to recap, make sure that you've already sectioned out your appropriate area of hair to begin braiding. And then when braiding, use 2 pieces of hair or as much as you would like per braid and actually begin braiding an individual braid. Now, if you want less of your braid to show closest to your root, then start releasing pieces of extension hair very early on. But just to make sure that your extensions are onto your hair and they won't slide off whatsoever, I suggest that you braid about 1 inch or 2 of your individual braid before you begin releasing hair. So you can braid a couple of times to start releasing as soon as possible, or you can braid 1 inch or 2 and then start to release pieces of hair as you would like. So after that, use a little bit of glue to seal the end and then continue over your entire head to finish your look. So now in the very next step, step number 3, I will be showing you how easy and simple it is to braid the back of your head.